All right, good morning. Welcome to your online class, Latino Studies 1020, Introduction to Chicano and Latino Studies in the Humanities. I am your professor for this class, Dr. Ramon Guerra. I will be giving you these lectures once a week to introduce you to the week's work, the concepts that we'll be going over, and whatever assignments you'll have for that week. This will be an entirely online class, so everything will be available to you through the Blackboard site for our class. So if you're unable to get to Blackboard or unable to use all of its functions, please contact me and I can direct you to the right place to get some help. This lecture is going to be brief, just kind of explaining the structure of the course, the requirements, how each week will look. We'll go through the syllabus quickly and hopefully answer all the questions you have up front about how this course will work. So if you are on the Blackboard site already, you're going to want to go and click on the syllabus tab. So if you go under our class on the left, click the syllabus, and we're going to look first at the course syllabus. So go ahead and click on that link. Again, in the way of introduction, I am Dr. Ramon Guerra. I'm from the Department of English. I teach Latino Studies, Latin American Studies intro courses for OYAS, the Office of Latino Latin American Studies. You can find all that information, including my office and my email address, which is most important for the online course, on the top of that syllabus there. You'll notice first thing there that under the text required, there are no text for you to buy. Everything that you're going to read is going to be available on our Blackboard site, and we'll get to that in just a minute. The first thing you'll see there is a big, long description of the course. You can see it as an overview, basically. It's an introduction course, so it's an overview of Chicano and Latino Studies, focusing on humanities, and humanities mean art, philosophy, literature, films, other sorts of cultural productions that we'll be looking at in order to help us investigate the Chicano and Latino experience in the United States. We'll look largely at the 20th century, but we'll also use other points in history to help us sort of frame out where we are now. Basically, because it's an introduction course, we're going to look at a lot of things in a quick sort of overview, and also because it's a summer course and it's only 5 weeks, we're going to have to be doing that as well. So we're going to want to stay on top of things. Next is the course structure. You'll see that the class is totally online. The format that the class sessions take will kind of vary. There will be usually an introduction lecture over the subject of that week, and you'll have a couple of reading assignments, maybe a video clip. You'll also have some notes of mine that you'll want to go through, and all of that will lead up to you have a quiz at the end of each week and a writing assignment at the end of each week, and that'll go week by week in a module. Okay. But so each week will look a little different from the last, but they'll be all kind of based around the same idea. Under the class requirements there, reading, obviously, since we're online, you're going to be doing a lot of reading on your own. Mostly we're going to be reading articles, short articles, some fiction, some sections of novels, some essays from authors, all trying to get at a larger experience. So you'll want to read these on your own ahead of time, mark them up, take notes, underline if you print them out. If you're just reading them online, you might want to take notes in a notebook. When it comes time to the final exam, and I'll get there, you'll note that the final exam is an open book and open note exam. So any notes that you take on your own, you can certainly use when it's time for the exam. The next thing under the requirements there are the quizzes for each module. Every week there'll be a quiz. at the end of that section. There'll be 5 in all, and instead of grading them and counting them individually, all 5 are going to be put together into one quiz score at the end of the semester. Now, the quizzes, along with your next assignment, the reading response, these will be under the Assignments tab on your Blackboard page. So when they'll be timed release, I should say. The quizzes will appear on Thursday night of each week at 7 o'clock. Excuse me. And they'll be available until Friday night at 7 o'clock. So 24-hour period, and they will be timed. They will be 25 minutes, fairly short answers, really very capable of being done in 25 minutes. Okay. They will just be over all the work from that week, whether it's from the readings, the videos, any film clips or anything that I'll have you watch. The quizzes will be made up from those reading and video assignments. The next thing on the list is a little different. It's a reading response, and each section of the course, just like with the quizzes, you'll have one of these per each section, and it'll be devoted to that week. Okay, and you'll find under the Assignments tab a reading response prompt, something that's supposed to direct your reading, and by the end of the week you need to submit to me a 1 to 2 page valuable reading analysis of what it is that you've read based on the prompt. And when you get in there, you'll see what I mean. It'll be maybe 2 or 3 questions that are related that I want you to address in your writing. These will be also due at the end of the week, but you will have access to these all week long. So Saturday morning, when everything is made available to you, your reading response prompt will be available, so you can know kind of what it is that you're supposed to be reading towards that week. And then these will be due 7 p.m. on Friday. Okay, each individual response is 20 points, just like your quizzes are each 20 points. So there's 100 points for quizzes and 100 points for reading responses. Okay, and then below that on your syllabus there, if you're following along, you can see a grade breakdown: A's, B's, C's, D's, and F's. Okay, and then the third thing under your class requirements is the final exam. Final exam is material from the entire summer, all 5 weeks, and it will be open book and open note, as I said, and it will also be timed. It will be available. The dates are there on your syllabus. It will be available for 26 hours. In that 26-hour period, you will want to find a window to take this exam on your own. 90 minutes. It will start once you click begin, and will automatically submit at the end of that 90-minute time. More than enough time to complete the exam. So just make sure you have a quiet space and internet access for that 90-minute time in order to do that. Okay. After that, on the syllabus, you'll see a short, simplified grading breakdown window. As I said, 30% each for the quizzes and reading responses, 40% for your final exam, and you can see the individual point breakdown there. Okay, with the online class, the structure is very important, and you'll want to highlight this. You want to make note of how this works. Basically, the class modules are divided into 5 concepts, 5 ideas that I thought we could look at, and each module begins on Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, and essentially runs to the next Friday at 7 o'clock. Okay, so for instance, whatever the first module is, this time it's history, will be available to you Saturday morning, 8 a.m., and you'll have a list of things that become available at that time. There'll be some reading, some video clips, a lecture from me, my notes as well, and your reading response prompt will all become available at that time. Okay, and you will have all week essentially to get that work done, and Thursday evening your quiz will show up, so you can take the quiz and submit that by Friday at 7, and you'll also want to remember to submit your reading response by Friday at 7. Okay, then from Friday at 7 until the next morning at 8 a.m. you have a few hours off. So I don't know if that means anything, but that's the way that the weeks are going to go. Okay, that information will be available to you to study for your final exam, but you will not be able to complete the quiz or the reading response once those due dates have passed. Okay, so just remember that in looking at the course schedule. Each week begins on Saturday morning and ends on Friday night, essentially. Under that, you'll have the plagiarism statement, also a statement for students with disabilities, and that's the end of the syllabus. The next thing you'll want to look at is a separate document, is the course schedule, and you can see just what I was explaining there broken down in more detail. Week 1 is history, available on Monday, May 18th. You'll see a list of 6 or 7 things that you can find in the course materials under history. You'll see them detailed there. Short video, overview, discussion of why Latinos are a relevant discussion topic, couple of readings, video presentation, and then your reading response assignment. Okay. Then you'll see available on Thursday your timed online quiz. Okay. Each week is broken down like that so you can see exactly what we'll be doing. Then if you scroll down to the bottom, there's in the bolded extra point font there the details about the final exam. This is, of course, June 21st, which that date will change for future classes that use this video. Now that's just a quick run through of all the things that we're going to be doing, how we're going to be doing them. If you have any questions, again, you can find my email address either by going through Blackboard or it's there on the syllabus. Please contact me, and good luck and have a great semester.